our database properly. No? So there are set of instructions on how we can resolve this data redundancy, but there are also samples that will help us to realize that not all designs are correct. There are designs that are incorrect. So that's why we have to be very careful in the implementation, especially in the primary key and foreign key relationship. I know naka-remember pa mo at some point about the primary key and foreign key relationships, right? So if ever wala nalimtan na, don't worry kay we will have a short recap on that later on. Okay? So I have here a table showcasing how data redundancy, no, how we can spot data redundancy in our relational schema or in our specific schema. For instance, I have here two tables supposedly, no, but it was a merged table for student and the college. So try to observe what will be the problem if we will not creating a separate table for each of these entities. So we have the student and we also have the college. So observe first the schema. What did you notice here, class? What did you notice in our table? We're talking about data redundancy. Can you spot a data redundancy in this table? Anyone from the class? So try to observe the table first. So I'll give you mga 15 seconds lang to observe the table. This is only few table, no, and having few records. So there are only how many columns and records they tuod, no? So that will be my next question. But before that, did you spot a data redundancy on this table? Did you notice some data redundancy? Yes, Carl?
Sir, sa college level, sir, like may bawal.
What? Come again? Dito, Carl? Sa?
College level, sir, sa kuan, bakabukuan.
Okay, sa college level, 1. So is it only the college level? What else?
Ang college, sir, kay gaotro po Japon sa duha ka IIT.
Okay, the college as well, no? Because the IIT is repeated twice as well. So going back, no, let me lang kay nag-tab manggod ko, that's why I'm going back to my slides. So if you notice here, the concern is the repeated value for our college IIT and the college level 1, because the college and the college level should have an equivalent data or record. IIT should be a college level 1. But there are a lot of situations in where each of these colleges, may have multiple students. Now, for having this an example is, you might say, this is not really a problem, but what if the record grows, no? The record will, have a lot of students enrolling for a specific college. So same for instance, George Smith and Will Brown. So we have a student enrolled in the college IIT. So that's why the redundancy happens here. So if we add another student, Juan de la Cruz, we provide his rank and then enrolled to IIT again and a college level 1. So there will be a 3 records, no, nga nag-data redundant or nag-redundant, no? Together with the other college, if we have also additional student enrolling to PICT, that is already a redundancy. Same with Ferguson. So this simply means that this design is not the appropriate design for our database. Because as our system grows, when there are a lot of students enrolling for the course or for the college, it will keep on having repeated value. No? Balik-balik ang mga data. So kani siya di kinato mas maingon nga, is this really an impact to my database design? So for now, it might not be because we are only working with 4 records. But again, as I mentioned, information system should not be limited only to fewer records, no? It keeps on collecting records every now and then, especially for this student and college. Nagi mga student na mag-enroll every semester, every academic year. So mag-expand yun ang records sa tong database. So kung abot na 1,000 ka records, tapos there are 500 student enrolled in IIT, so therefore we can say that there are repeated value for IIT and college level 500 times, right? For IIT and college level 1. And another 300 enrolled to PICT. So there are multiple repeated value for PICT 300 times. And 200 for Ferguson. So there will be 200 records repeated for the college Ferguson having the college level of 4. So what's the impact if it continues in having a repeated value for our database? Diba, as I mentioned in our last semester, it will keep on consuming your storage resources. So what if your computer is only limited to a fewer value for storing data? So that will become a problem later on. So as much as possible, if we are conserving resources, we don't want to waste resources, especially storage resources. The best thing that you can do is to avoid tables that can perform or that can result to data redundancy. So since we are talking about this problem, of course, we have also a solution for that. No, we are not introducing a problem to resolve it on your own. There would be always an equivalent solution on how are we going to have our proper database design. So dagan na kitag mga dagan na kitag nagian last semester, and where you use the business rules in order for you to craft the entities. And based on that business rules, you create your ER model and other data models, right? Then you try to apply relationships. So those implementation is not too strict because you have the freedom to assign the relationship based on the business rule. But here, we are focusing on the output or the record that we have to break down or decompose in order for us to craft the proper database design. So that will be our task this morning. And I hope by the end of this, you will have that knowledge. Okay, the process on how we can avoid data redundancy will be an application for you in your future projects, especially for other major courses. No, so that's why gladly that your database was assigned on your second year level so that you can have a lot of time to work with your database and together with your interface. By the way, speaking of that, by the end of this semester, we will be working with a fully functional system having an interface and also a database. No? So, kana ang ato ang goal. Well, if you have questions, feel free to make use of the raise hand button in your Google Meet. And also, if you don't have a microphone, you can just simply chat your concern in our chat box. Okay? May I know if you don't have any questions before I will proceed to another slide? Type 0 in our chat if you don't have any questions at all. Let me see. Para there will be an acknowledgement that you guys already understood the prior discussion. All right. So, okay, so majority says you don't have any question. Very good. So this will be the problem, no, again, and we will be working on this table for our next slides. Okay? So so mentioning that data redundancy is not a redundancy alone, but we have also anomalies. If you remember or if you recall in our uh first semester, I had introduced this ano no or I introduced to you this different data manipulation language in where I allowed you to create your tables and insert records. Now, having this kind of situation in where you haven't designed properly your database schema or design, then insertion may be an issue for that. So how does an insertion be a problem? So let's read. An insertion anomaly happens when the insertion of a data record is not possible unless we also add some additional unrelated data to the record. We have an example here. For example, inserting information about the student requires us to insert information about the college as well. Try to observe our table here. Now, try to observe our table here. As mentioned in the insertion anomalies, you have to provide entirely additional data in which you are not aware on what to input. Let's say, for instance, student and the college, since this is a merged table, no? Nakaisa ang table sa student o sa college. So, basically, if you will be inputting your data as a student, that would be very easy for you because that is your personal data, right? Otherwise, if you will be also, or on the other hand, if you will be inserting record for the college, might be you are not aware what are the college level of these colleges, no? So that would be an impact for you to insert the value because even so that you are only a student, you are required to input the information about the college and that is not your task, no? That is somehow that should be separated because that is not your data for you to work with, no? Or to insert or input with. So, may mga na ang situation class nga if dili na to siya i-decompose, the decomposition is one of the process para mabulag ang mga table, kining mga nanga-merge nga table, no? So, having this merge table have this issue insertion anomaly. As I mentioned, the intended data that you only wanted to be inserted on the table requires you to input additional data that is not related to you. So same for the student. So you have to input the college and the college level even though dili na siya nimo record. So that's the concern. You have to fill in the entire record. And look at this table here, oh. Student Susan Fuller ranked 10 enrolled to the College Ferguson, but she doesn't have any idea what will be the college level. Now, what will happen if that's the case? Then, the record will have an empty value, and we don't want that to happen in our database. We don't want to store empty value. Okay, how can we interpret properly our records if there are missing value in our table? Okay, so that's the major problem of insertion anomalies. Glad that we only have 5 columns, but what if this table is not only working for 2 entities being merged together? What if there are additional table or additional entity aside from the college and the student? Diba? What if we added subjects there? So the subject, diba, the subject will be also extended on this table, and then the student should have to fill in all those subjects wherein dili na niya responsibility to fill in all those subjects, diba? So yeah, that's how insertion anomaly becomes one of the problem of our database. Now, I hope that's clear for the insertion anomaly before we will proceed with our next slide. Now, questions in our insertion anomaly. I hope that's clear, no? The takeaway that you will always remember, must remember for insertion is that it requires you to input unrelated data. No? So that's it. Inserting unrelated data is becomes a problem once you don't have a knowledge on those data that have to be inserted. Okay? Let me check on the chat box if you don't have any question. By the way, we can also utilize the emojis class ha. If you don't have question, you can also do thumbs up, no? Okay, ganun. Very good. Okay, next here is our deletion anomalies. So this will be a counterpart of an insertion, but both of them are anomalies. So let's talk about deletion anomalies. A deletion anomaly happens when deletion of a data records results in losing some unrelated information that was stored as part of the record that was deleted from a table. For example, by deleting all such rows that refers to students from a given college, we lose the college and college level mapping information for that college. This is illustrated in table 4.3 where we lose the information about the college IIT if we delete the information about the two students, George Smith and Will Brown. No? One aspect of a good database design is that you should be able to manage the data or the records of your tables. Here, we can also do that one, but there's a major problem because since the table student and the tables college can merge, ang mahitabo ani class if we perform delete, no? If we perform delete, it will also affect the other record. So unsa na akong pasabot? So let's say for instance, you only wanted to delete the record George Smith, no? Student. Nani siya sa student nga table. You only wanted to delete this record. But what will happen if you delete the George Smith? It will also delete the record of the college IIT and its college level 1. So madala appeal ang other record nga dapat unta dili siya ma-appeal og delete because our aim is only to delete the student record alone. But since merge man sila, whatever will happen to the record for the student, it will affect entirely considering the record of the college and the college level. So if we delete this two student, George Smith and Will Brown, knowingly that these are the only student enrolled to IIT, then we will be losing the idea that there are college and college level existing no as IIT because there are no longer student enrolled on that. So that's the problem of a deletion. It will entirely affect no the data that should not be affected during the deletion. But since this is an anomaly, no having this merged schema or table, it will result on that problem. It will delete the record entirely. No? Isa sa to ang objective class when we design a proper database design or schema is that dapat dili ta mawad-an og data or dili mawala ang information nga very useful for interpretation. So same with this, we lose the information of the college and the college level upon deleting the two students, George Smith and Will Brown. So that's for the deletion anomaly. Insertion requires you to input additional unrelated data because it is part of the table. Deletion is you are missing or losing some data because you wanted to delete some point. No? Because you wanted to delete a data for the student or from the student, then the other table will get affected. So that's the concern no, of these anomalies. So I think we can proceed with the last anomaly, which is the update anomalies. So This is all another anomalies, no, in our database design. Yet, let's talk about update anomaly. So an update anomaly occurs when updating data for an entity in one place may lead to inconsistency with existing redundant data in another place in the table. So for example, if we update the college level to 1 for student ID 003, then College Ferguson has conflicting information with the two college levels 1 and 4. So what's the main concern about update anomalies? So the main concern for update anomalies is that it will give you a conflicting information. When we say conflicting information, it is an inconsistency of the data. Because if we observe our table here, we identify that these two students enrolled to Ferguson. But why is it that Ferguson have two separated or different college level? Why is that Ferguson have different college level? Because of the update. No? As mentioned here, student 003, ang college level niya i-update into 1. So there will be a confusion now if what will be the exact college level. Okay? So dili na ni siya kung ani nga mahitabo class. This is just a simple example. But in a real application na gyud ninyo ani, there will be a lot of conflicting information. Okay, sorry about that. Again, in real application, there will be a lot of conflicting information na dayon because of the update happen in an incorrect database design or table. This is just a simple illustration for us to realize that this anomaly is really happening. Okay? So, that what if napagyoy mga 5 pa ka additional nga record na ni kay student that yung nasa college, nasa different college or colleges, and of course kung mag-update ka og mga records din na, it will lead always to inconsistency, and of course that is a conflicting of information. So there will be a confusion na dayon. Nga nganong na mo yung 4 si Ferguson, unsa man yung tinood niya nga value, is it 4 or is it 1? Especially for those record that should be matched accordingly. Kaya di man pwede ang Ferguson or ang college kay na isa 1, na isa 4, di ba? So that should be always an equivalent, no? Muna na po nagkanabita mo palit ka product. Let's say naibaligya nga burger. Ang burger kay tag 99 pesos. Then i-update ko din tong record sa Pikas nga gihimong 150. So there will be a confusion if what will be the price gyud sa burger, is it katong 99 or is it katong 150? Pero the same na siya ang burger, ha? Ang burger pati yung mga ingredients, so on and so forth. So for instance, no, if you will be working in a project in the future that requires you to do some updates. So kung ana bitaw nga cases, then sa inyo upload as a student, let's say natay section, tapos kani mo ani siyang classmate, paras lugar mo og kanang section gyud na assign, pero gilahi-lahi ang mga subject. That will lead also to confusion because you will start to compare nga, we are both in the same section pero lahi lagi mong subject lagi naa lagi sa lain nga college or lahi nga year levels nga na bitaw. Though naman po cases nga naiuban a regular student and they're peaking. So for that instance, there's a confusion, no? Okay. I hope that's clear for our anomalies. Nasabtan ang tulo ka anomalya. Kay ato na silang hatagan og solution dayon karon. On how are we going to do the solution? Let me see a thumbs up if you don't have any question. Okay, if you have question, feel free to make use of this raise hand button. No? All right. Okay. So since nasabtan naman ninyo ang purpose nganong kailangan gid nato tarungon ang design sa atong database, why should we have to design it properly is because of the data redundancy, and the following anomalies. Now, what will be the solution for this? We have to do decompositions. So what is this decomposition? Decomposition in relational database design implies breaking down a relational schema into smaller and simpler relations that avoid redundancy. So it just simply talks about avoiding redundancy, no, as much as we could. Because there are design na even though imo na gyud siya i-break down og tarong, na at some point napagyapoy mga minimal redundancy. So na yung i-avoid lang nato ang data redundancy, but we cannot 100% guarantee that we absolutely eradicated or we will eradicate the data redundancy. At some point, na yung mga ginagmay, pero at least we have this better solution or better design for our database. So, avoid redundancy naman ang mention na rin. Di man yun ingon nga to eradicate, no? To remove, di man yun, avoid man. So, the idea is to be able to query a smaller relations for any information that we were previously able to retrieve from the original relational schema. For example, for the student schema on figure 4.1, illustrate how the decomposition would work. So let's see. So this is now our table, no, 4.1, having the student and college relation. Of course, this is a student and college relation. If we notice the schema, natay data ni student o naputay data sa college. Okay? And let's try to identify how we can resolve this concern or problem. No? How are we going to resolve this data redundancy out here? So natay mga different processes, no? We have different processes or procedures for that. So for sure, if I will allow you to create your own decomposition now, many will have a different outputs, or you can potentially have a different implementation or design. But I wanted that every time that we will have a task or activity, unified ang inyo ang output. Dili siya ingon nga dili parehas. Somehow mo na tong objective. Okay, so somehow that will be our objective, no? To have a unified output for doing the decomposition. Actually, this decomposition is just an introduction for you for a larger table. Okay, in our next topic, you will be working with not just one, but multiple tables. Yes, Vilma?
Wala, sir, natutlukan, sir.
Uy! Ikaw ha? Ikaw. Anyway, decomposition will be my first introduction to you on how we can resolve major problems for a larger table. Okay, we will not be working in just two tables, but we will be working with multiple combined tables in our database. So that will be our target, no, on how we can give solution for that. So let's start in our decomposition process because this will be very helpful for you in your future mga endeavor. Okay? So there might be a different implementation on our decomposition. So for this morning, I'll be showcasing to you that those different implementation, and let's try to notice what are the problems if you implemented the decomposition on this manner and compared to this manner. So there will be 3 examples, I think. Yeah, we have, as for this example, we have 2 decomposition, yet this decomposition might not be the correct application. So, sa man ni sir, anong college level, college naman na siya. Sige, ato na siyang i-encode. Ato na siyang i-encode class para makita yun ninyo. Let me share my entire screen. Okay. Just bear with our way of having a tabling class ha. Okay. Medyo ano tayo eh. We don't have a whiteboard, no? To illustrate. Mas maganda if we have the whiteboard kasi I can just simply erase, no? Tapos draw some table, but here I will utilize the Excel para we can appreciate how how this table looks like, especially ato ang samples here. So nada ni gi-graph na college o college level. But before that, let me grab first the entire record as our reference. So we have here the student ID, right? Then the name of the student, of course, followed by the rank of the student, the college. So we are talking the same table from our previous example. So this would be a great progress for our class this morning. Saglit. After which I'll be putting all the records. So I'll be start putting S001. Itong mo dili ma-insert manggod ang mga prior zeros sa Excel. S002. S003. Ako na lang nag-drag ka rin. Yun. And then the name of the student, we must not forget this one because that is part of our record. No? Vivek Kaul, George Smith. So internally, these are all the same name of student we make use earlier. Bill Brown, rank 6, 15, 9, and then 1. So these are the rank of the student, no? And the college, of course, we don't have to, we must not lose this college info. PICT as well. And then the IIT, and the college level, 4511. So yeah, so muna ni ato ang record, no? We already craft our, what will be the nice color? Okay, kanon. So this will be our table now, and we will be working on this table. Okay. Siguro I might have ganun. Yan. So I hope you follow. So mo man nga ato ang i-decompose ato ang hatagan og solution. Saglit lang class sa murag nanapoy saba maabot. For a while lang muna class kay medyo saba. Okay. Yeah, we will be working on this table and let's try to apply the solution being given in our slide, no? So this first solution in where we decompose our relation or our table into two. Okay, pamalit sa mga galunggong, guys. Napod meet ako dan ni. O, see? Gakakuan ba ninyo, no? Gakadunggan ninyo, di ba?
Yes, sir.
O, sige, pamalit sa mga galunggong. Kasi gusto po mga na may masudan. Napod meet ako dan ni. So, advertise muna tayo. Okay. Alright. So, wala na. Sige, going back, no? So, natin mga constraints. So, going back, so this is our default table and our goal again is to decompose them, meaning ato silang ipang-separate, no, into smaller table. So, since we only identified that this table here, na siya duha ka table dapat nga ma-separate, so kung ani ang application. So, atong gibuhat na ni class, kay ato, napaday na siya. Okay. So, marag layo na yun siya, no? So, sige. Yeah. So, our goal is to decompose our relation. And atong gibuhat Dani daw class, or kaning example Dani, what if this will be your implementation? So, what will be the problem if kani mo implementation? Or is there's really a problem ba kung ani nga pamagi mong buhaton? So, first is, let's go back in our default table as our reference. And then, ato dong i-separate ang college there. And then the student. Yan. Now, since we successfully separated our table, so let's observe muna. So, kani siya dapat wala na, no? Isa ra ni siya ka representation. Class, by the way, how are you going to spot if you will be working with a repeated data? So, sa atong ka table class, kung mag-breakdown na bitaw tag table, ato nang i-separate. Isa sa inyo ang buhaton ana class is that dapat kani, no, dapat kaning IIT will only have one representation. So kay Aaron, atong goal ba di ba ma-breakdown tapos mawala ang redundancy. Kung imo ra gyapon ning i-adapt nga application nga imong i-repeat ang ato ang IIT twice, then that's still a problem. So kailangan ato ani siyang i-clear, no? Walaon nato na siya. So dapat isa ra ka representation for IIT. Daani sa tong default ka table na siya duha ka representation because na may duha ka student ang nag-enroll sa college IIT. But for our separation here, doing the decomposition, dapat isa ra siya ka representation. Kay puslan man na we perform decomposition yet you are still acquiring repeated data on our table. So kani mo ni ang first na to nga gi-apply. So this is our first dapat ano ni siya, no? Ay, sorry. If I delete that one, that will, ano, okay. Ayan, para separate yun sila, no? So, muna tong first nga decomposition. Now, the question is, do you think this is the correct implementation? So, ato man siya gi-breakdown, no? Out from this, ano, reference. So, muna ito ang reference ka table. This is our reference table. And then, mo din niya to ang first ato ang decomposition number 1. So, is decomposition number 1 is the correct application or the correct decomposition, yes or no? What do you think? Is it the first or is it the first? Is it the correct decomposition? Yes or no? Let me see on the chat if who says yes and who says no. You put it in the chat. Kung maulaw man galing mo. Sige, you type now. So according to Mr. Jimenez, no. How about the others? Is this the correct implementation? No po, according to Miss Morgia. How about the others? You are in between. You don't wala pa mo ka-decide. So it is just a matter of yes or no. So Mr. Alcordo also answered no. And Miss Alampayan also answered no. How about the others? Nangatulog. Nangatulog ang uban. Agoy, mag-activity raw din ko after ani. No pod kay Miss Arado. Okay, how about the others? Come on. So si Vilma pod, no. So nag-answer na sila no. Kung saan na po siguro nakita niyo sa chat no, inyo na rin giawat. What if mayroon kung correct date to or correct day na siya nga application so wrong mo tanan? How about the others? Walay ga-oppose? So litanon daw, yes. So nanatay isa. Isa kay yes. How about the others? Asa man ang kung mga uban student ani nangatulog na mo no? Bantay lang mo ha. No, no. Okay. Sige. Let's hear from Mr. Litanon. Kaya siya naman ang nalahi among the others. Pero I will, good gyapon. Select one of the student to deliver the side for the no. Okay? So, Mr. Litanon, Ian, nganong no, yes man. Ian.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I think hindi na siya ma-redundancy, sir, kay Conman, sir. Siya lang may isa, sir. Wala siya pariya ka pariya.
Okay. So, di na siya ma-redundancy kay wala siya kapariha. No? Unique naman siya. So, yeah, I think that the problem here is the way I question you, no? So, let me correct the question. Do you think this design, no, okay, redundancy mo dito ang akong gi-mention kanina. So, I repeat and recorrect that, or I will correct that one, no? Is this table, again, reset. Is this table is the correct application in where we don't have any problems at all? Yes or no? Wala na ba tayo problemahon kung kaning application final na gyud ni siya? Yes or no? Atong i-correct ang question, okay? Kung in terms of data redundancy, nawala man gyud ang redundant nga data dani because we only do representation for IIT once, no? Pero the next question here is that is this the correct application for decomposition wherein we don't have any really problems at all? Yes, Mr. Sanchez.
Nawala ang data ni Will Brown, sir.
Nawala ang data ni Will Brown. Okay, what else? What else pa man? How about the others? Kay na-observe ni Sanchez na wala daw ang data ni Will Brown. Sa paman, apay lain? Napabay lain class? Wala na? Okay, here's the answer for this. This is not the correct decomposition yet because katong gingon ni Mr. Sanchez, mo na gyud to siya ang indicator nga tungod separate man ni nga table, and if you notice these tables, tables na siya kay duha naman ka table, duha na ka tables. So the college table and the student table na separate nato from our reference table. And out from this reference table, if you observe here, we cannot interpret if which college does a student belong if wala tay relationship. Diba? Isa ba sa to ang ginabuhat sa to ang mga database tables kaya we apply relationship for this table to have the reference from one to another. So, may tabuan ni class, natay ginatawag dani nga natay ginatawag ani nga data loss. Nga naman ay data loss. Because after we separated this table, wala sila relationship. Meaning, ang kaning college nga table, kaning college nga table, dili ni siya makashare siya ang info dato sa pikas nga table kay student, o si student po, dili po siya makashare og info niya paingon dato sa college nga table. So, it's a vice versa. So, pasabot ani, walay relationship si college o si student, so dili na to ni ma-achieve nga result. Di na to ma-achieve ang ni nga interpretation nga dapat when we try to navigate each of this record, lantaw na ko dani Ria Sinha. Unsa man nga college si Ria Sinha. So we don't have any details about that one because the college is already separated from the student table. Vivek Kaol, unsa man nga college si Vivek Kaol. So, ma-answer na to kung makita na tong reference table. If ever walay reference table, missing na siya. So, kana lang atong lantawon. So, daghang kinatag record dani. Now, do you think we'll be able to match up the college and the student knowingly nga this table don't have a relationship? Walay primary key and foreign key nga constraint. So, natay data loss ani nga decomposition. So that's why this is not the correct application yet, or this is not the correct decomposition. So decomposition number 1 is incorrect. Okay. Now let's proceed to decomposition number 2. Let's go back in our slide. So in our decomposition number 2, okay, since na-notice man nato class nga na ay problem pa sa to ang previous decomposition. No? So that's why, let me muna. Okay. That's why, ang nahitabo dani, if you notice, nanay student ID, gi-share kang college nga table. Kay dani okay. Okay, look at our table here. This would have resulted mo ni atong table ng gi-apply dito ato lang tong gibutngan og mga data, no? If you look at our Excel, college level student ID, student and the rank muna ang columns, di ba? So this would have resulted in loss of information as we could not map which college a student belongs to. Okay? So that is still a problem. There is a data loss or loss of information. Second, since we identified that we will perform relationship, no, we will build relationship for this table to avoid the loss of information. So katong i-share dani ang student ID sa student because that will be our way, no? Ato siyang i-perform. Saglit ako. Let me copy this one muna. Oh, sorry. All right. This is decomposition number 2. And the color will be, let's change this one para natin mga different colors. Kana. Okay? And then, ano tayo additional nga ano dani? Ay, pangit pa. Ako nasa i-separate. Saglit lang ka sa apat ato sa katagan o space dito ba? Kaya na siya. Lah. What happened? Yun. Okay. Tapos, nag-add daw tag student ID dani, di ba? Ang primary key, syempre, this is a student ID. Ang student ID belongs to the student nga table. So, dani ato ang primary key sa main nga table. So, this will be the red. This will be the red. This will be our primary key. And this will be our foreign key. Hinulman nga yapi sa laing nga table. Okay? Ayan, so let's color this one yellow. All right. So try to observe here. In our previous decomposition, the decomposition number 1, the only concern here on the decomposition number 1 is that we did not apply the primary key and foreign key relationship. That's why we don't have an access from this table to this table and this table to the student table. So wala sila relationship. So they are entirely separated. They are not sharing the data or the attributes. Where on our second decomposition, let's then apply the primary key and the foreign key. So since we have 4 students here, we have to distribute the student ID 4 times. Student 001, as we know that student 001 is Ria Sinha, enrolled to Ferguson. Let's check above. Ria Sinha, enrolled to Ferguson, and college level 4. Now, you might be asking, sir, nabaliktad lagi ang table. It's okay, lagi magbaylo ang table, no? Magka-interchange ang positioning. Ang ato mang goal ani is to craft the proper decomposition so that there will be no data loss, there will be no data redundancy, and the rest of the anomalies. No, dapat wala na sila. So atong gibuhat dani, we distributed the ID number from our student table. Kay naghulam lagi tag susi no, natay foreign key. PK primary key kasi malibog ang uban, primary key. And FK means foreign key. So dili na foreign no, from the name it's a foreign, gikan sa lahi nga lugar, lahi nga table, foreign. So hinulman. So this one, atong gi-allocate S001 for Ferguson. So atong balikan ni siya nga record. And sa PICT naman, we have S002. Vivek Kaul. Tapos sa IIT, naatay S003, which is si George Smith. But since duhaman kabuo student nga nag-enroll sa IIT, then we should have add again IIT just to accommodate the student Will Brown. Kaya we don't want a data loss, dili na to pasagdaan ang or dili ta gusto nga na ay mawala nga data or information. So all we have to do is to repeat again the IIT representation here because we know that we have 2 students enrolled in IIT. So atong i-distribute is 004. If we link back if we will go back, if we try to check the record, so nanay relationship. Kumbaga, I can then say nga, so Ria Sinha, no, si Ria Sinha, mo ni ID number niya, mao ni palit sa mo class, palit sa tagista class, advertisement, di magud ta naka-premium good ay. So pamalit sa mo, tagista. Wala sa klase. Okay. So yeah, atong i-trace, no, atong i-check. S001 now, nanatay sa student ID dani, mak-check na nato nga. Okay. Ferguson nga college, college level 4 na siya student nga si Ria Sinha. PICT nga college, college level 5 na siya student nga si Vivek Kaul. IIT, college level 1 na siya student George Smith. And na siya another IIT, college level 1 na siya student Will Brown. So, the application for having the relationship primary key and foreign key in decomposition number 2 is not the correct application. For what reason man? Anong sayo pagyugyapon na siya, sir? Nganong sayo pa man na siya? In what aspect man siya na sayo? Na-observe ninyo?
Repeated yapon ang IIT, sir.
Yes. This is still an incorrect decomposition. Incorrect siya. Dili sakto. Kay tungod, our goal gani is i-resolve ang data redundancy ani nga table. Yan, hitabo sa tong decomposition number 2 is that nagbalik na po noon gihapon. No? So this simply means nga daghan tag possible options on how we can decompose our table. Yet, dili tanan nato pamaagi correct. So that's why ato siyang ginaplot para ma-identify nato what will be the correct application for our decomposition. Now, do you want to know what is the correct application or the correct decomposition? Siyempre, dapat no, kinagutaan eh. So the correct decomposition will goes like this, class. First is, remember pa mo sa akong gi-mention atong first semester na dapat kada table na siya ikaw galingon yung ID number. Diba?
Yes, sir.
Did you observe sa college na to wala siya ID number? Wala siya college ID?
Yes, sir. Wala.
So muna siya ang problem. Isa na siya sa problem. Okay, without an ID number for a specific table will limit your capability in finding the right decomposition process. So what we are going to do now here is that we will just simply copy this one first. Let me copy it. Tapos, I will extend another column for the college ID. Kung ani ka-importante ang ID number sa isa ka table, kay dapat namang yun na sila yung mga unique ID yun para for this situation now. Sama ani nga panghitabo nato. So let's say for example, C001, college ID 001 for Ferguson, C002 for PICT, and C003 for IIT. No? So ko lang din yung i-delete. Right. Next, the same, I will get a student ID here, or I will get the student record here. Taning kuluran. Para makafocus ang tanan sa color green na punta, no? Manata si yellow sa ipagyapon. Now, the composition number 3. So, what will be the next move? Since ato mag-try, dahil sa decomposition number 2, we tried that we share the unique ID of the student paingon sa college. So, it still resulted to data redundancy. Now, the next thing that we will be doing is to share the college ID to the student. And let's notice if na ba siya problem. And if you can still remember in our last semester, pwede ra magbalik-balik ang ID number because those are just a reference from other table. Dili siya bigger concern. So may tabuan ni class. So yun na kayang solution di I know nya nagagdagan pa kay taglisod nga nga gagian. Well, para lang ma-appreciate ninyo nga dili tanan application or dili tanan decomposition nga process nga yung buhaton correct. That's why you have to think twice. You have to observe your table again. Kay kung napa na yung mga problem then that is not the correct decomposition. So atong i-share ang college ID. So na naman ting ID number sa college dani nga table. Tapos dapat ako ni siyang butngan dito dani ko ano saglit. Ayan. So this will be the primary key, okay, from original table, and this will be the foreign key. Okay, borrowed ID man ni siya sa lahi nga table or key. So next, distribute lang nato. C001 will be Ferguson. Si Vivek Kaol, I remember PICT siya. So C002. Next is IIT. Ang duwa si George Smith. So I just simply need to type C003 twice here. So, kaning redundant nga ID is not a problem kung mahitabo na siya sa ID numbers. Kaya mo yung purpose, no? Mura siya barcode ba? Or mura siya ID nga gina-allocate kung parehas magaling mo og registered nga number ani, so, or model, so muna siya ang imong ipang-distribute. So, this same happens in our student table. C003 twice because that represent IIT. Now, by viewing this type of relationship now, I can witness or I can interpret the record from the student table na okay, Ria Sinha belongs to the college ID C001 and this C001 moni ang iya ang mga record. C002 mo pwede yung mga equivalent records. And also C003, mo na equivalent records. Kung ato na siyang i-combine ang idea from this table and this ID number nga nakalink dato sa pikas nga table, we can craft the entire information. Na Ria Sinha, enrolled to the college level C001, Ferguson, college level 4, same with PICT, same with IIT. Now, there will be additional appreciation for you. Kay kung ani may tabo, kung naiba ko nga student S005 atong insertan dan no S005 then yung name kay Juan de la Cruz or Juan Luna na lang kay Oronubo yung college or yung rock kay 4 o yung school kay let's say for example Ferguson, so ako lang siyang ibutang din na nga Ferguson. Okay. Next, what if mag-add tag college C004? Dali kay ta mag-insert no. Ato ding ibutan ni TCC. College level ni TCC kay 6. Diba? And then kung naay mag-enroll kay student, naay na po mag-enroll nga student TCC. So siyempre, let's add another ID for the student. Tapos, ano dayon? Let's say Maria Fe. So, yung rank 7, yung asa siya nag-eskwela sa C004. So, it is easier to manage and then, our record is not repeated. No? Wala yung data redundancy na. So, we resolve the problem of data redundancy and loss of information having this method of decomposition sa number 3 nga ang ato ding college ID ato ang i-share sa pikas nga table, dili day ang student ID i-share sa college nga table, no? Ang nahitabo, it's a matter of ano lang yun, the right application of the relationship. Okay, kung sayop ang imo ang pag-allocate, no, if you are if you assign incorrectly the primary key and foreign key, that I don't know, leads to data redundancy. And if you have the correct proper relationship being implemented, then therefore there will be no data redundancy at all. Okay? So how about the update anomaly? Katong update, di ba, leads to data inconsistency kanina. Kung ako ning update ang TCC, ako na siyang himuon og college, kinsa man tong mga student nga na ay duplicate nga or duha ka kung ano, kanin si IIT. Let's say nag-upgrade si college nga IIT. Nimo siyang college level 7. So syempre, i-update ra na ako dali nga record. Ang katudin tanan mga student nga na-enroll kay IIT will receive also the update of the college, no? So kani sila tanan. Di na ko kailangan nga update pa na ako dani nga 7. Then ang uban wala na ko na update, so mag-confusion na dayon, no? So ang ana sa update, di na kay siya i-change. Ay tungod nakalink na lang man dayon ang data. So ang ana siya ka significant class. Ferguson as well, C001, let's say nag-upgrade into 5 si Ferguson, or let's say 4, 9. Anak, college level 9. So katong tanan mga student will also have the entire record nga, okay, so Ria Sinha, rank 6, nag-enroll sa college nga Ferguson kay C001 man ang college level kay 9. Same with Juan Luna. Okay, Juan Luna also enrolled to Ferguson having the college level of 9. So the deletion, the update is very easy, as well as the insert. Okay, I don't have to put the entire information, no? Itungod, all I have to do is to focus in the student. Kung mag-insert pag student dani, no? Let's say Pedro. Si Pedro, nag-enroll din si Pedro sa college nga TCC pod. So, yang rank kay 12. Yaring college kay C004. So, dali kayo mag-insert. Di ba? You don't have to get to know all the info about the college because all you have to do is to make use of the ID number. So, we resolve all of those issues. Okay? So, kung mag-delete po mag-delete ta sa student, kay si student man ang child nga table. No? Kung kinsa ganitong na foreign key class, siya to ang child table sa to ang main nga table or sa to mother nga table. Kaniya tong mother nga table, kitungod mo manigagikan ang data. Then ang child table mo tong nagka-benefit sa sa record sa mother nga table. So dili ta pwede mag-delete gyud sa mother nga table, no? Okay, that's a problem. Sige, questions? Again, ang mother nga table, mo na siya ang ihimong reference, no? Mo na siya ang primary key. Ang child nga table, mo tong katong nanghulam og attribute gikan sa mother nga table. That's why they are linked, no? Sa inyo bitong OOP, di man daman mo yung nga relikuan dadto, daman mo yung nga discussion nga parent and child table. So this is the parent table and this is the child table. Ang child table mo yung nanghulam sa parent table og attribute. Now, ang rule is dili ta pwede mag-delete sa parent nga table. Kaya kung mag-delete parent nga table bitaw class kani basta sa kuan ni siya kanang relationship ni siya sa primary key and foreign key. If ato ning i-delete, how would we know, or there will be a missing record, no? There will be a data loss here. Natay data loss dani. Okay, we don't know kung kinsa ning C004 wala man ni sa table nga college. So, bawal mag-delete sa parent nga table, pero pwede mag-delete sa child nga table. So much more easier mag-delete sa child nga table. Let's say kani si Pedro, wala na din siya nagpadayon sa TCC. So i-clear lang nato. Wala na apektuhan ang mother or ang parent nga table, right? Si Maria Fe, wala po siya napadayon sa TCC. Clear lang nato na nawala siya sa atong record. yet wala napiktuhan pag-delete ang other table, si mother. Si mother or si parent nga table. Okay? Isa na yun yung para dali na siya madumduman, all you have to do is to notice the primary key and foreign key. The foreign key will always be our child table, but at some point, kung kani po siya, pwede din siya may mong parent at the same time child nga table. Kung if ever na ay table, hulam siya ang student ID sa pikas nga table. Let's say, natay subject nga table here, then gikuha ang student ID. So meaning, both siya nga parent nga table, no? Both siya parent and child table. Parent nga table siya sa subject nga table and child table siya sa college nga table. So na yung anak class, no? Di na siya mawala sa concept yun sa tuang computer or even sa mga programming languages and databases. So nasabtan, feel free to ask question now if ever galabad ang ulo, pati ang nawong. Sige, pangutana. Kung maingon mo, wala mo'y pangutana, nga maghatag kong activity din, that's the time nga mangutana na dahil mo. Dito mo entertain nun ba? Sige, good. Pangutana. Wala, nasabtan. Nasabtan na class. Let me know if nasabtan or nagsakit na inyong mga nawong. Pati ang ulo di ay gutom na. Nasabtan ba or wala?
Nasabtan ra, sir.
Ay, thank you. Ay, salamat. Kay ginapang gining kamutan na yun na online, no? Masyado magutong face-to-face yun unta. Manang how I wish face-to-face na lang nasaad. Sa online, lisod ka ay magmita patag mga other tools, no? So since nasabtan naman ninyo, so I'm sure that our activity will be easier for you now, no? Will be easy for you. Again, let's do some recap first na lang muna before we'll give you the activity and the guideline for your activity. So in the reference table, this is our basis because there are issues about this table. Student table and the college table were merged together. So that resulted to data redundancy for the college and the college level. And then we tried to perform decomposition in different aspects. The first decomposition is incorrect because it doesn't have any primary key and foreign key relationship, right? So that resulted to data loss. Okay, we cannot link the data of the student to the data of the college. Then the second decomposition is that after we realize that there should be primary key and foreign key relationship, then we apply the decomposition. We apply it in decomposition number 2, where the college ID will become becomes the child table to the student na parent table. Diba? Okay, foreign key kasi dito si student siya ang si college siya ang nangulam sa student ID. But we notice that after this implementation, there are still data redundancy. So this simply means that this relationship is the incorrect designation of the primary key and foreign key. So in our third decomposition, we realize that each of the table must have their own ID number. So what we did was we created an ID number for the college. We assigned value for each of these college. We created an ID number, and then we let the other table, the student table, borrow its ID number. That's why we have the primary key and foreign key relationship. So we just simply then distributed the college ID to the assigned student. So since we noticed Ria Sinha is enrolled to the College Ferguson, so yat atong gi-assign ang College 001 siya or C001 nga ID and the rest of the student. With this, we resolve the issue of data redundancy and information loss. So that's it. Now, this will be your time to work on an activity because so that I can assess if nasabtan ba gyud or nag-log in lang tapos natulog na dayon, no? So to ana siyang ma-observe. So I'll be giving deadline dito on the time ninyo dapat nga ma-submit ang inyo ang activity. See, later na. Ako saan i-prepare ang material. No? I will be posting the material first. See, classwork. So, para makita ninyo, namin makita na sa screen. Ako na lang pong i-share. Okay? So, let's create. Ano nakapost ako sa A? Ayun. Oh, see, February 7 pa sila. Let me edit and grab this one. 1.5 copy. 1.5 copy. So, saglit lang class ha. Let me post a material in your classroom. Saglit, parang So, yung 5 to. Yan. That will be for your material. Then the decomposition activity. Ayan. So decomposition tapos yeah. To be. So I will be creating this one as your assignment kay mag-deadline ko the same day. Ay, kalayo ba? Saturday tayo ngayon na 17. So mga taod-taod ako na iset unya. Ay saglit. 2A. Activity 1, decomposition. Activity 1, decomposition. Ay. Activity 1, decomposition. And let me upload. Saglit nga pala. Sige, ako na lang ni siyang i-rename Decomposition Guide para you will have your reference later on. Ako pa rin siyang i-upload. Save as. Okay, man. Oops.